I've always been a very skeptical person. I don't believe in miracles or supernatural things. To me, everything had a brilliant scientific awareness. Until one night, I lived something that defied my entire world heritage. And until today, every time the memory comes back, we need to put ice on the spine. The same dread that we had at that moment. I was exhausted. The work, the studies, the science. It all weighed in my body. When I got home, I fell into bed without even taking off my clothes. In seconds, I was sleeping with you. But that's when it all started. The room was completely dark, but something wasn't right. The air was heavy, dense, as if the space around me was compressing itself. The impression that she was not dead was immediate. It was as if a presence had been there in the penumbra, waiting. I was paralyzed. My neck got squeezed and a feeling of suffocation hit me. I was trying to help, but my voice was stuck inside my throat. It was as if I had been swallowed by the night sky. In the left corner of the room near the window, there was a shadow. It wasn't something clear, it wasn't a figure like that. It was like a Chinese silhouette that moved slowly, as if they were watching every detail I felt. My heart's gone. I wanted to run, but I was stuck in my own body. The shadow approached further, until I thought I could increase your weight in the atmosphere. It was then that there was something even more terrifying. I knew I was wrong, but at the same time I couldn't trust him. It was a strange experience between sleep and vigil, where what you saw seems more real than reality itself. The shade began to move on the surface of my bed, and I felt a constant pressure on my face, as if something had worsened me. The air was getting colder. The cold of death. The cold you only see when you're on the edge of the abyss. I wanted to close my eyes, I'm sorry, but something got me in the way. Every second the shadow approached further, until with a quick movement it lowered itself thanks to the height of my face. A low whisper, almost inaudible but clear as broken glass. I'm here. I'm here. I'm sorry. My body trembled in a way that had never happened before. The enemy took care of me, and I tried to help my enemies move. Nothing. It was as if a force had been holding me, keeping me from dying. I was stuck at the mercy of that thing. My hands were sweating. My beloved spoke of a mixture of fear and hate. The shadow, yet without form, rose upon me. I could say something by grabbing my throat. The situation worsened, and the pain in my head was unbearable. I knew I was on the verge of fainting. Every second we asked a question. Doctrino then, as if we had heard what I heard, the question was gone. My body finally replied. With a superhuman gesture, I managed to open my eyes, relax, and with that, the brain dissipated. The shadow changed, and the room went back to normal. The sensation of suffocation and fear was replaced by a true believer. But when looking around, there was no answer. Nothing was out of place. The light of the moonlight still lit the window, and I was literally alone. But how could I have felt about all this if I was still in my bed? How would you explain the cold, the weight in the sky, and that voice whispered at the foot of the sky? After nothing all darkened, and I woke up, and that night I couldn't sleep again. I've been looking for explanations. I read about sleep paralysis, and I've been able to remember that all of this had just been a hallucination caused by fatigue. But deep down, I knew there was something wrong. What I've lived was too real to be just a dream. During days, I avoided sleeping completely. He worked late, left his head alone, and he only got sleepy when his body couldn't take it anymore. For a while, maybe. But no one deceives sleep forever. I was alone, trying to keep my eyes open, when tiredness hid me. The last thing I heard was the sound of the clock marking 2:17 in the morning. And then it happened again. Same room, same heavy-duty smell, the same feeling that you were alive. The air was not only cold, it vibrated, as if a negative energy would go through the environment. I knew at that moment that she had died. I had tried to move, and once again my body did not die. The Christian took care of me, but this time it was not only fear, it was sure that nobody was not a Christian. Slowly, from the sky, closing in on the room, a rhythmic, dragged, heavy sound. At every step the floor rang, and the sound remains closer to the door. I'm sorry, such a deep silence that I could hear my own blood pulsating in the bones. and then the doorknob turned. Slowly, the door was opened. The brew of the hair tried to fit through the room as a liquid shadow that swallowed everything around it. High, thin, distorted contours, as if they were made of smoke, no doubt. Only a dark hole in the place where the eyes should be. Then he began to walk in my head. Each step saw the eye vibrate, as if her weight were small. And the closer it was, the stronger I felt that presence invading my mind. The more I heard that I heard something that froze in my blood. She whispered alone. But this time not. There were words in a hoarse and severe tone, in a language I never heard before. Guttural, far, but in some way understandable. I came from inside my head. I could feel the air moving. The shade fell next to my bed. I could feel the air moving. The mattress wanted to sink slightly, as if something had happened. The iron symbol of blood broke into the air. My entire body has contracted. I could move my hand, any muscle, but it was dangerous. And then she said, she didn't walk, she didn't go away. Nobody ceased to be there, as if the air swallowed it. Maybe 2:59, less than an hour had passed. Rome and I spent the rest of the night alone, watching every corner of the room, trying to figure out what happened. The room looked different. The air seemed heavier. Sometimes I feel like someone watching me even during the day. I swear I still hear the sound of the birds in the sky, slowly getting closer until stopping in front of my door. Mr. Arthritis Assa, it was one of my experiences that I had. There are others I will tell in other videos.